2K Sports pregame show.
Okay, basketball fans, with me, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm Ernie Johnson. You're watching 2K Sports, but you know that already. Our featured matchup tonight out in Toronto, where the Raptors will be going up against the New York Knicks. Checking out New York, they're enjoying a better winning percentage to this point than we saw last season, an encouraging sign for the players and the front office. Kawhi Leonard in action tonight, the winner of multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. Shaq, for wing defenders, where do you have him ranked on the all-time list?
Well, I shook his hand the other day, and his hands are as big as mine, Ernie. But to answer your question, I think he's in a conversation with Pippen and Jordan.
And Jordan, wow. Now, he's one of the best perimeter defenders ever, but those guys are in a company because they've done it on a big stage, Shaq. But he's very intelligent. I love the way he approaches the game defensively. But doing it on that big stage consistently as Pippen and Jordan did, whew.
That's saying something.
That's saying a lot.
Time for tip-off. We send it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
The soaring CN Tower is seen from the waters of Lake Ontario, along with the rest of beautiful downtown Toronto, our setting today. It's an all-Eastern Conference matchup in today's game as the Knicks come into town for this one. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and beside me, Greg Anthony and Steve Smith. David Aldridge joins us on the sideline. And back in Toronto following the road trip, it's the Raptors on their home court. A great start of the season for them, playing very well so far.
And this is what the NBA is all about, competition. That's why rivalries do matter.
They do. It's good for the sport, the TV ratings, the fans, but most of all, when you're a player in this kind of game, the adrenaline rush is incredible.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kristaps Porzingis has drawn comparisons to Dirk Nowitzki, and it sounds like Dirk is a fan. He says of Porzingis, he's long, athletic, tough. He has touch. He can put it on the floor. He is for real. Kevin?
And Porzingis, DA, a good 3 inches taller than Dirk. He's a very unique talent for sure. Tonight, Smitty, two teams, same conference, rivalry game. Tensions could be hot.
First of all, Kevin, I'm fired up. The fans are going to be fired up. The players. This is not one of those normal games. The tensions are going to be high. I think this one's going to be very physical.
It'll be the Knicks off the tip. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Inside, it's Porzingis and Cantor. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Ntilikina, and it's Knox in at the 3 spot.
And there's the first bucket of the evening.
Should be an interesting game. Both teams coming in ready to do battle.
Green kicks to Siakam. Toronto working the ball around now. Ibaka, the pass to Siakam. 5 on the clock. Unable to get that one. Nice D from Porzingis. Here's Knox. Here's Ntilikina. Now recovering. Back to Porzingis for 3. Ball's knocked loose, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Porzingis. And now, just over a minute played here in the first. Lowry feeling it out a bit. And that's a foul called on Porzingis. That is his first foul of the game.
That's something you hate. You're trying to come in with an aggressive mindset, and that early foul could take you right out of it.
Outside Lowry. Clock at 4. And here's Leonard from three.
And he just plays with such intensity on defense. Love watching Ntilikina be an absolute pest on that end.
And Hardaway gets it to go.
In so many defenses nowadays, really not designed to take away that mid-range jumper.
If you go by pure analytics, there is an argument to be made for that. This time, doesn't work out.
Lowry. Here's Siakam. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Siakam's got his first 3 points of the game.
What a look from Lowry. Just knew he would be open.
Here's Ntilikina. While recovering, Ntilikina kicks to Porzingis. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good. Oh, Leonard in position. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Ntilikina passes to Hardaway. And the shot no good, a bit short.
I'll tell you what, despite the miss, he's going to be looking for that same shot again.
That gives them the lead. Green's got his first bucket in this one.
Catch and shoot. This is where Danny Green makes his money.
Here's Ntilikina. 14 points from him the last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And he wreaked havoc on defense with 4 steals for the game.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. Here's Cantor. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Hardaway against Green. Pass to Lowry. To the wing right side. Here's Green. Got a hand on it. Now Hardaway. 20 points for him last game against the Hawks in Atlanta. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Outside Lowry. To the middle. Shot from 12. And off the left side of the rim. And it swirls in for him. Green's got his second basket of the game.
When you watch Kyle Lowry play, you see how much bigger he is than his stats. Does so many little things on both ends of the floor. I mean, he's a great screen setter, takes charges, all the things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but are important when it comes to winning.
And it's Lowry with the ball, brings it up for the Toronto Raptors, trailing by 4. Pass to Ibaka. Shoots over Cantor. Shot's good by Ibaka. And Greg, with Lowry, it isn't like he's quiet on the stat sheet either.
Yeah, he is a bulldog. I mean, he scores it, the playmaking. He's just complete in terms of a backcourt player. Rebounds as well as anybody for his position, and got good hands on defense. It just gives you a little bit of everything at that point guard position.
Hardaway with a wide open look. No good on the 3. Leonard kicks to Green. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Green's got 6.
Absolutely fearless. I mean, a nice subtle adjustment there going up against Wentz.
Well, this is where he shows both skill and body control along with the attack mindset.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And sometimes it seems the age of interior scoring big men has come and gone. Enes Kanter, one of the rare big men who can dominate a game offensively in the paint, great hands and the strength to create space.
And the first one at the line is good. And you talk about Kanter's inside game, but he's got a solid jump shot.
It looks very comfortable all the way out to 20 feet. I think before long we may see him add a three-point shot to his repertoire.
And Cantor drops them both.
Taking advantage at the charity stripe like he always does. Terrific touch.
Now here's Lowry. He's guarded closely. Inside. And Serge Ibaka, the bucket on the assist by Lowry.
If you let Serge get looks in there, he's going to shoot them for a very high percentage.
New York's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Passes to Hardaway. And the Knicks miss again.
He's hit a rough patch this quarter. He's trying to shoot his way out of it, though.
Lowry with the ball. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Sacramento.
And he didn't take any plays off at the defensive end. I mean, he wound up with 4 steals on the night.
A nice make there from Lowry in the mid-range. He can do some damage from there.
Here's Knox. He's covered by Leonard. Cantor takes it off the glass. Cantor's got 6. Raptors have gone 7 of 11 from the field to begin the game. Lowry kicks to Siakam. Now here's Lowry. D right on him. A well-timed shot fake got the defender off the ground right there.
It seems like almost every shot Lowry takes is contested, but he doesn't let it bother him.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Well, Steve, for the Raptors the last few years, regular season hasn't been a problem. It's been all about the playoffs.
Yeah, the Raptors have the goal of making it out of the East and to the finals. It's the right goal to have with the way they perform in the regular season. This team, they will always be measured by their playoff runs.
Some changes for Toronto. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Ibaka. Monroe comes in for Pascal Siakam. And it's Wright in for Danny Green. The pass to Trier. Off target from three-point range. The Raptors have gone 8 of 12 on field goal attempts so far. To the paint. Here's Valanciunas. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
When you have the size that Valanciunas has, there aren't many people getting in the way of your dunk.
Knicks trail by 4. No one near Moutier as he lets it go. Off target from three-point range. Their offense has been great here.
Yeah, the ball movement has been terrific, and they've kept the defense off balance.
Now here's Valanciunas. Greg Monroe unable to get his shot to go. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Look at the big man Valanciunas showing off the playmaking skills.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Porzingis can't hit.
How does he miss that layup? He's too good to be doing that.
Wright finds Lowry. Now here is Monroe. And it's Monroe finishing it off.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
If you aren't going to at least step in front of him, you can't be surprised when he throws it down like that.
It's good. Porzingis has got 5 now.
You can see there the defender allows himself to get picked.
You know, it's all about effort. Sometimes you're going to get hit on hard screens. You just have to fight through them.
Now here's Lowry. With an average of around 19.5 points a game, his scoring has been a constant for them. Here's Valanciunas. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Moutier kicks to Porzingis. Shoots over Monroe. And no good. Trying to use the glass. Pass to Leonard. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. And now it's a 10-point Raptor lead.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Well, the two go hand in hand. Matching your strategy to your personnel is key.
to Monroe. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. Just 5 on the clock. Got a piece of it, but he recovers it. Right side Lowry. Leonard on the wing. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Knicks trail by 13. Moutier dishes to Vonleh. Here's Porzingis. Shoots over Monroe. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Porzingis making his return after ACL surgery last season.
It's just nice to see him back. I mean, you remember that injury just took the wind out of the Knicks and their fans. However, it set their direction as they took a more long-term developmental approach.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
The first free throw is good.
Kristaps Porzingis standing 7'3". He's played power forward early in his NBA career, but with that height, his future, it could be at the center position.
Anunoby, he's checked in for the Raptors. Fred VanVleet comes in for Kyle Lowry. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And with Porzingis having the ACL tear, Greg, maybe losing some of his lateral quickness, perhaps accelerating his move to the 5.
I mean, part of his rehab was hitting the weights and just adding strength. I think, if anything, his offensive skill set, though, even more impactful at the 5.
And so it's New York with it. Jonas Valanciunas unable to get his shot to go. Lee outside. Tries from 10. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Lee's got his first basket. Raptors leading by 10. 1:35 left to play in the first. VanVleet passes to Anunoby. Kicks it to Valanciunas. The shot is good, and so is his shooting tonight. 3 for 4.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
The Knicks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
First free throw is good.
And still trying to find his footing in the league. Moutier must show improvement in his shooting moving forward.
The Knicks making a switch here. Burks is checked in. He's off on the second.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
And 1:01 left in the first quarter. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. And it's Burke with the ball for New York. 11-point game. This their first look at this year's Toronto squad.
Yeah, 2 conference rivals. I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
So you know each game they play will hold a lot of importance to both teams.
Here's VanVleet following the basket by Emmanuel Moutier. Here's Valanciunas. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Noah Vonleh. Well, Smitty, we saw with Jonas Valanciunas, the Lithuanian big man, shooting more threes last season.
Valanciunas saw all the other centers in this league add a three-pointer and wanted in on the action as well. Only took about 1 a game, but he shot over 40%.
The free throw drops for Valanciunas.
For a player his size, Valanciunas has always been a good free throw shooter. We won't see a hack of Val anytime soon.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
And the missed opportunities for them at the line here early on. And he runs the floor with a purpose that time. Excellent play.
You know what? And a late reaction by the transition D takes it himself uncontested.
Here's Van Vliet. He had 10 points in the win against Sacramento.
And you know, another way he impacted the game was forcing turnovers. Really disrupted the offensive flow.
Now here's Burke, guarded by Wright. And here is Burke. Here's Porzingis. He gets that one. Porzingis has got 8 points.
He has great instincts on the offensive end. He's tough to contain.
And so it's the Toronto Raptors with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. Back to the action after this word. Making his mark in Toronto, guard Kyle Lowry talked about the pioneers of Canadian basketball, like Vince Carter.
Vince Carter really changed the game of basketball in Canada. He created something that is forever lasting, and I think the game of basketball in Canada owes him a lot because he really brought the buzz to the game of basketball in Canada.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Carter's exciting style of play, GA, really energized the whole country.
And playing basketball in a hockey town isn't easy, but Carter really helped get this city and country energized about the game of basketball.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And guys, what's your take on Toronto so far?
Well, what's that saying, guys? Sharing is caring. Just terrific ball movement here in that first quarter.
What they did, they left their egos in the locker room. It's a very all-for-one, one-for-all mentality.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. They've got Vonleh. Trey Burke is out there with Moutier. And there's Porzingis. And it's Lee in at the 3, the small forward. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, the Knicks hope to build a contender around their star player, Kristaps Porzingis. He said playoff experience would be huge at this point in my career. The sooner, the better. That's the only thing I'm focused on. What I need to do on the court to play better, make my team win. Kevin will see if they can get there together.
Thanks, DA. Now, here's Burke, guarded by Wright. Burke kicks to Vonleh. Monroe against Porzingis. Knocks it loose. Stolen by Monroe. Fast break. Here we go. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And the potential Anunoby has is exciting. Has the athleticism, the shooting touch, and the drive to keep improving.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And from the line, he's knocking it down about 71% of the time, and that's a percentage that needs to go up.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
He's off on the first. More and more, Steve, the NBA becoming about two-way players. Who are some of your favorites that fit that mold?
I think option number 1 is LeBron James. He does an excellent job, and obviously because of the load he's been carrying, it's been more, I would say, sided offensively, but he's capable. Kawhi Leonard, Chris Paul, Draymond Green doesn't score much on the offensive end, but you know he does a lot of things as far as passing the basketball, setting screens. So them are some of those guys. And Kevin Durant lately has become one of those guys that you can count on blocking shots.
Love all those examples. Now here's Hardaway. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Back to Lee. Pass to Knox. Some nice passing by New York here. That one drops for him. Lee's got 5 points in the quarter.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Van Vliet passes to Ibaka. And again, Toronto no up.
If you're trying to keep the defense honest, that's the one you really have to make.
Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
And that's a good job of spotting up by Serge Ibaka. He's good in those catch-and-shoot situations.
Ibaka against Cantor. He dishes it to Burke. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Especially at that kind of height disadvantage. You're looking to score the ball or at least draw the foul.
Here's Van Vliet. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. They get it back. Tries again. And it's Ibaka with the bucket inside. Ibaka's got 8 points.
When shots go up, one thing about Ibaka, he gets to the right place at the right time.
And Fred Van Vliet is going to pick up a foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Second foul. You don't want to pick up his third in this half. We'll see if they'll make a substitution or not.
Ntilikina, he's checked in for the Knicks. And here are the Knicks now, trailing here by 8. Burke kicks to Hardaway. Here's Cantor, and the rejection by Ibaka. Fast break, here we go. Here's Van Vliet, up and in on the layup. Van Vliet's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Delivering these passes in tight quarters, that's tricky.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They are coming off that win against Atlanta.
And winning that game the way they did with the incredible fourth quarter comeback couldn't have left them feeling any better.
Now that we have a second, take a look at the teams that have scored the most points off turnovers over the last 10 games. Number 1, the Knicks. The Raptors third.
Yeah, both of these teams of late forcing turnovers and converting them into offense at the other end.
Knox the pass to Ntilikina. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. And Cantor wide open. He shoots. No good off the back of the rim.
And that's the look this offense is designed to produce.
Always frustrating when you do everything right, yet just can't complete the play.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. The Raptors shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. The Raptors making a switch here. Leonard's checked in.
One shot, gentlemen.
Well, Smitty, when it comes to Danny Green, this guy's got a lot of courage. We know that. The man lives with 2 enormous boa constrictors.
Jade and Lightning, those are their names. He's had Jade since his days at North Carolina. Said that given his busy schedule, snakes were just a lot easier to take care of than other pets.
And the shot is good. The Raptor lead has been cut to just 11 points in the basket from Burke. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's foul number 2 for him. Knicks trail by 11. Here's Ntilikina. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. And last season, LeBron said that the Knicks made a mistake passing on Dennis Smith Jr. in the draft. Of course, they took Frank Ntilikina out of France.
Yeah, a little shade thrown Ntilikina's way last season. Of course, he's one of the youngest players in that draft, and so plenty of time for this young man to fulfill his potential.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
That one is off. Smitty, early in a season, how many of these surprising losses can really be considered upsets, do you think?
You know, the great teams, they look at it's like a marathon. They're looking to just get better. But I think for the younger teams, they will love to gain some confidence in knocking off some of these playoff favorites or these teams that's been, I guess, picked by us, the media and the fans, as the favorites. But I think a lot of teams look at it as let's just build. It's more about building to the end of the season versus at the beginning of the season.
And the French native has already made an impact. Ntilikina is a young guard who plays with confidence and purpose.
Now here is Lowry. Leonard on the wing. Over Hardaway. And the Raptors miss again. Leonard with the steal. Dishes it to Ibaka. Here's Siakam. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Siakam's got 6 points in the quarter.
Kawhi is carving up this defense. Love his awareness. He is finding the open man.
The floater. Here's Ntilikina, guarded by Green. Ntilikina kicks to Burke, and stolen by Kyle Lowry. Here's Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
The quickness of Kyle Lowry getting them out and running.
And it's the Knicks with the ball. It's a 13-point game. Now here's Burke. Lowry covering. Over to the wing. Here's Ntilikina. Cans it from downtown. Ntilikina's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Toronto's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Now here's Lowry. On the wing, Green. That one, no good. And New York the other way now. Puts it up. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Raptors leading by 10. And Siakam has it in the corner. No good from outside. Last outing for Toronto, they won that game against Sacramento.
And when you shoot a high percentage from distance, that gives you momentum and really keeps the opponent on the ropes.
It does. It keeps the crowd out of it. This is how you win on the road.
Goes back up. Just 5 to shoot. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy. Hardaway has got it back down to single digits for New York. The Raptors have gone 8 of 15 since we began the second quarter. Excellent shooting. Lowry kicks to Leonard. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
You see the power right there from Kawhi. Absorbs contact and able to convert right through it. Many scouts were surprised by Leonard's quick development, his ability to improve his skills and shot as fast as he did. But the truth is, he was always a very hard worker, dating back to his amateur days.
Trier, he's checked in for New York.
One shot, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Leonard. Well, we're talking about Leonard. In college, he put himself through a really tough regimen.
You know, he would be up and out the house by 5 a.m. He work out and run basketball drills, usually by himself. This was a part of his daily routine before going to class.
New York calls timeout. When you look at today's NBA salaries, Steve, do you feel the responsibility to learn financial management falls mostly on the players, or should the league do even more to help them find out about what they're going to do with all this money?
You know, I think it's the responsibility of both. I think the Players Association and also the NBA, and I think organizations as well. I think you look at it, we're all involved to get a chance to help these youngsters. It's not easy for a 19-year-old, 20-year-old to become a millionaire overnight. That's just not something that you're used to, and handling that, it has been a problem for some players in the past.
Here's Cantor. The Raptors getting the bucket. Passes it to Knox. Left side, Hardaway. Sinks the three-pointer. Hardaway has got 8 points here in this quarter.
That's the second long-range bomb in the quarter after a slow first period. He is on a roll.
There's the pass to Ibaka. Back to Green. And Ibaka slams it in.
And for Serge nowadays, most of his offense comes from beyond the arc or at the rim.
Knicks trail by 12. Here's Ntilikina. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. And the foul called on Pascal Siakam. That's his third foul of the game. And the Raptors making a change here. White's checked in. Vonleh's checked in for the Knicks. Porzingis is coming in for Tim Hardaway Jr. On defense, the Raptors. Here's Knox. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Now Lowry. Outside Leonard. Over to the left wing. Siakam. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists now in this one. Knicks trail by 14. Pass to Porzingis. Here's Ntilikina. He's covered by Leonard. They get a hand on it, and it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here.
And while we got a chance, let's look at some numbers for Kyle Lowry. Second in assists, and he's a flamethrower from distance. Top 10 in the league in three-point shooting.
And going back to him being second in assists, it's his ability to control the pace of the game, his peripheral vision. That makes him such a great floor leader. Here's Valanciunas following the basket by Emmanuel Mudiay. Lowry kicks to Leonard. Back to Lowry. Just 5 to shoot. Bangs home the trifecta. Lowry's got 7.
And that was from way downtown. Lowry truly is a gifted shooter from distance.
Now here's Mudiay. He's tightly guarded. Here's Knox. He feeds it to Vonleh. Outside, Porzingis. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
I don't think we'll ever see another 7'3" player who can drain the three like Porzingis. He takes the idea of that inside-outside threat to a whole nother level.
Now here's Leonard. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Sacramento.
He also was very good distributing the basketball, keeping guys involved and engaged all night.
Here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Hey, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one. White outside. Pass to Monroe. And Lowry has it in the corner. Back to Monroe. Over Mudiay. Here's Wright. Tries again. It's deflected, and they're able to recover. Valanciunas, good.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Trier passes to Vonleh. And now here comes Wright, leading the break. Oh, Leonard in position. .51 seconds left in the first half of the game. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Driving with a purpose. Leonard shakes off the hit, maintains focus, count it.
There's 45 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. And it goes out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Last touch by Lowry. Fred VanVleet is checked in for Kyle Lowry. And a switch here also for New York. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Knox. .40 seconds left in the first half. To the right side. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession. 34 seconds left in the first half. Passes it to Moutier. New York moving the ball around. The shot by Vonleh, no good.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Van Vliet kicks to Leonard. Leonard draws the double. Here's Valanciunas. It's rebounded by New York. Porzingis has got his 6th rebound on the night. Lee outside. They get a hand on it. Leonard with the steal. And so it's Toronto sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Kyle, a good first half for you all. How do you continue that for the rest of the game?
We got to come out with our energy. We got to come out and play our game and keep going out there and pushing. Our defense and everybody's rotating, so we're playing together right now.
We'll see if you stay connected in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. So far, a pretty lopsided game, but still one half to play. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 14 points, 4 assists, and also 3 steals. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Their ability to get into the paint and get to the rim has been deadly, constantly attacking the basket. It was clearly their intention right from the start to pound it inside as much as possible. And I don't see them straying from that strategy in the second half. It's going to be another paint-based attack.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on New York?
Well, they're obviously facing a hot shooting team tonight. That combined with a lackluster effort on defense, recipe for disaster, Ernie. Without major improvements defensively, this game is OVA. Over.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
Welcome back to Canada. The famous Toronto sign here in Nathan Phillips Square, just in front of City Hall. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And in that first half, something we don't see a lot of from him, the ability to make everyone around him better.
You know what? It hasn't been his role, but he has the skill set to do it. Maybe this is a new wrinkle to his game.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Kyle Lowry and Danny Green are the guard tandem. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Ibaka. And it's Siakam in at the 4. That's Nick Nurse's 5 as we get into the second half.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Neely Kina kicks to Cantor. Porzingis passes to Cantor. Not going to go that time. Some solid defense from Ibaka.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change. Oh, quick hands on the steal, and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and offensively.
Terrific defensive instincts to come away with that one, and he showed no hesitation in how he completed that transition opportunity.
Here's Siakam. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Siakam's got 15 points.
And Lowry has no problem setting up teammates. He strikes a good balance between passing and scoring.
Porzingis feeling it out a bit. And again, New York with the triple.
And just carrying over from his last game, completely dialed in. You can sense his confidence.
I totally agree. Heat check after heat check. He realizes, man, I'm still hot.
The drive by Green. Ibaka finds Lowry. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Tim Hardaway picks one up.
Kyle Lowry, the Villanova alum, does everything you want from a point guard. Very complete player on both ends of the floor.
Well, with Lowry, as you said, Steve, he gives you a little bit of everything.
One of the best rebounding point guards in the league. Doesn't rack up huge assist numbers, but a very intelligent passer. Good assist to turnover numbers, smart with the basketball.
2-2.
Free throw good, Lowry. Steve, obviously schemes evolve on both sides of the ball. Talk about some of the biggest changes that you have seen defensively since you were playing.
I think the one, Kevin, that sticks out right now, so many teams now are comfortable and are able to switch 1 through 5. You kind of switch 1 and 2s and 4 and 5s. Now you see point guards are switching on centers. And then I think also defensively right now, you see a lot of teams right now influencing guys to drive the basketball to their opposite hands. Back when we played, we kind of just played a guy straight up and then let the defense rotate, and you were in full rotation.
Now here's Porzingis. He's got 16, 6 to shoot. With the shot, and good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
And that's 3 out of 4 now coming out of the break. The offense playing with a purpose.
Now here's Lowry. He's covered closely. Green, no luck.
The bucket just not well protected, but still he doesn't convert too often. That's been the story with him.
And so Lowry will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. At one point, they led by 16. Ibaka, no luck. Knicks trail by 13. Here's Porzingis. Tips it. Here's Cantor. It's deflected.
He's being aggressive, trying to turn around the team's fortunes, but he's having a hard time executing.
In the corner, Ibaka with it. Hardaway against Green. Sinks that one from the post. Green's got 8 points.
He had just enough breathing room around the basket, and he found a way to convert it.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kyle Lowry is a player who has worked his way to stardom. He says, I still feel like I can be better. I'm never satisfied. My team is good, but I think the best I can be is a champion. There is no other goal in basketball. Guys?
D.A., that's how you truly create a legacy.
And look, you never want to see a team gut you this way. Really a good timeout.
Some of this is just a matter of toughness, a willingness to play physical inside, something we're not seeing.
To the inside, it's stolen by Lowry. Outside, Green goes up on the wing. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. He's got 10. Well, the grimace of pain tells it all. He's hurt, and let's hope he's okay.
Well, I mean, you really feel for him. I mean, and the entire team. Just, you got to hope for the best.
I just hate seeing this, but no need to jump the gun. Let's see what it turns out to be.
The Knicks making a switch here. Burks is checked in. Got a piece of it. And Leonard has it in the corner. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Knicks trail by 20. Burke, the pass to Cantor. Trying to find Porzingis. Gets it to him.
Still doing his part, but it hasn't been enough. They need some kind of spark.
Toronto's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. Out to the right wing. Now here's Burke, guarded by Green. Cantor. That one's not going to go. Ibaka with some nice D.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Oh, I don't believe that. He's better than that. Come on.
Knox misses. Raptors leading by 18. Right side Lowry. From 15 feet away, and the bank shot is good. Lowry's got 13.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between 3-point shots and 2-point shots for the Knicks. For New York, they have hit 4 of 8 from the free throw line so far. Folks, that's 50%. Not great work there.
And really, the form at the line all season has been terrific. 79% as a team.
No good on the free throw. Steve, you had an excellent playing career. Talk a little bit about the work you had to put in and just to get to the NBA.
Yeah, it comes down to that work ethic. Obviously, we all have talent, but you have to put in that work. And that work continues on the court, off the court, and it's basically 365 days a year where you have to find a way to get better.
Was it mainly shooting for you?
No, not mainly shooting for me, Kevin. I think it was always just my overall game.
Here is Lowry. 13 points in the game. Over to the left wing. Here's Anunoby. Got a piece of it. But they get it back. The second chance effort, and it's laid in by Lowry. 15 points in the game.
Once he's dialed in, helping to dictate the flow of this game.
Now here's Burke. Tight defense on him. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Well, you love the fearless, aggressive attitude. Doesn't let size matter.
The minute you back down, everyone can sense it. Then you're in trouble.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1.
One shot.
And the free throw, no good. Raptors leading by 19. And it's Lowry penetrating. Porzingis with the block.
And with his length, Porzingis can be very disruptive on D. Not easy to get the shot off over that huge frame.
And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Knox. And it's the Knicks with the ball. Burke kicks to Porzingis. 4 on the clock.
And with Kawhi in this past summer, his health was such an unknown quantity during trade talks. Now that we know that Kawhi is a full go, it looks like a great deal for Toronto. Casts a bit of a shadow and doubt over Kawhi's last year in San Antonio, but it is what it is at this point.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Valanciunas, who's checked in for Ibaka. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Anunoby. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Here's Lowry. 15 points in the game. He kicks to Leonard. Over Lee. Leonard, no luck. And it's Burke with the ball for New York. Trailing by 17. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense.
One shot. Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And so he hits the technical free throw. And Courtney Lee out of Western Kentucky, a consistent 3-and-D veteran.
And, you know, more of a journeyman's career, but I'll tell you what, he's a winner and competes, does those little things, and, boy, he makes some big shots.
DeLon Wright, he's checked in for Toronto. And a switcher also for New York. Moutier is checked in. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Porzingis.
Good job inviting contact. The closer Leonard gets to the rim, the more dangerous he becomes.
2 shots.
The first one falls.
With Kawhi, you love his talent, but just as important, you love the basketball IQ and work ethic.
Vonleh's checked in for Cantor. Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard. Knicks trail by 18. Burke kicks to Vonleh. Left side, Porzingis. And again, it's the Knicks missing. For Toronto, they've gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%. New York's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. And that one's good. Burke.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
Here's Van Vliet. Burke covering. Van Vliet passes to Siakam. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Siakam's got 5 points now this quarter. Knicks trail by 18. Burke kicks to Lee. Back to Burke. New York moving it around. Good, nice play there from Vonleh.
High percentage play, working the ball in close, then the nice move to convert.
Toronto's gone 6 of 12 from outside, a very nice 50% mark, shooting the 3-ball well. Van Vliet passes to Leonard. Shoots over Burke, and that one's good. Leonard's got 21 in the game.
He is in the zone tonight. Kawhi is carrying this offense.
Here's Lee, and the rejection by Leonard. And he recovers it. No good from Lee. Toronto leading by 18. Fires from deep. Leonard, no luck. And a wide open look for Lee. Lee can't get that one to fall. Toronto's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Moment here now for an injury report. Now for an update on Tim Hardaway Jr.'s injury. Let's go to David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. I just talked with the Knicks head athletic trainer. After taking a look, he informed me that it doesn't look too bad. Boy, losing a player like him right now, just a huge blow. They depend on this guy so much, Kevin.
Thanks for checking in, DA. Injuries are always tough to deal with, but they're just a fact of life in the NBA.
And he'll have a lot of support as he goes through the recovery process. They want him back as soon as possible.
And we know how much better they'll be as a team when he's out of those street clothes and back in uniform.
And the shot goes down.
And a high percentage look there, and he takes full advantage, bumps up the lead.
Yeah, the lead now is double digits. Some tricky matchups out there, not a lot of solutions. Making a dent in this deficit. He's been on point tonight.
Here's Van Vliet, defended by Moutier. Van Vliet kicks to Leonard. Clock at 6. Launches a 3. Count that one from Van Vliet. Van Vliet's got 7.
The team play of Leonard, a catalyst for this offense, does everything you need to affect winning.
And Fred Van Vliet, the Wichita State product, took some time getting into the NBA, but my goodness, is he a factor now for this team?
You know, I love the way Van Vliet can create space with his movement and getting into a defender. Great at reading a defense and finding the right play. He thinks several steps ahead of the play when he's on the floor.
First one falls for him. And so he hits both. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Raptors. The pass to Leonard. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Leonard's got 9 points here in the second half.
He's a bona fide star. Kawhi Leonard with the workman-like approach.
Trier passes to Porzingis. Here's Trier. No points in the game yet for him. Here's Vonleh. That one goes. Count it.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
Here's Van Vliet. He's got 7. Outside Leonard. There's the triple. Drills it from outside. Leonard's got a pair of threes now here in the third for the Raptors.
What I like about Kawhi's shot, no matter the distance, always seems to be on balance.
Moutier kicks to Porzingis. And again, New York with the triple.
He has flat out dominated this quarter, hitting shots at will, yet they still find themselves behind.
Van Vliet passes to Leonard. Now here's Valanciunas, covered by Lee. To the paint, here's Trier. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
When your defense translates into offense, it's a beautiful thing.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
And Fred Van Vliet is going to pick up a foul. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Danny Green, he's checked in for Toronto. Knox, he's checked in for the Knicks. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Now here's Wright. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. Second shot opportunity, and it's good on the layup. Wright's got 6.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Pass to Porzingis. The dish to Moutier. Softly drops in the floater. He has 7.
Yeah, going to the floater right there. That was pretty.
Toronto leading by 17. Here's Van Vliet. He has 7. Wright finds Green. And here is Monroe, covered by Lee. From outside the arc. And it's Green, missing. Kawhi Leonard has been on display for Toronto. He is seeing the court so well today. He set a new season high for himself in assists. We'll return shortly. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, and I like the fact we get to see this pass one more time. A magnificent feed, and you love to see your off guard taking over the playmaking duties with this much skill.
Very unselfish. If you appreciate teamwork, this is the kind of play that will get you up out of your seat.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And on the floor for New York here in the fourth. Lee out there with Knox. Then it's Moutier. And there's Porzingis. And it's Trier in at shooting guard. Now here's Porzingis. No good with the elbow jumper. Here's Monroe. Banked in off the glass. Monroe's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Raptors. Knicks trail by 19. Trier passes to Porzingis. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
Toronto calls timeout. Some changes for Toronto. Ibaka comes in for Jonas Valanciunas, and it's Kyle Lowry in for Fred VanVleet. The Knicks also changing it up. Enes Kanter comes in for Lee, and Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Emmanuel Mudiay. Now here is Lowry. Here's Wright, and Kanter pulls it down. Kanter's got 11 rebounds in the game.
You know, this is a time when you don't have to force anything. You're in command of this game.
Toronto leading by 15. Outside Lowry. Kicks to Monroe. Back to Lowry. Just 5 on the clock. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
That's a grown man's basket right there by Kyle Lowry. He is so good at getting dirty down inside.
Outside, Porzingis. And it's good for 2. Porzingis has got 31.
It's amazing. No one can check him right now, but there's still work to do to cut into this lead.
Wright looking around. Down low, Monroe, and he makes good on the layup. Monroe's got 4 this quarter.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Here's Kanter, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Strong move at the rim, overpowers the smaller defender.
And it's Lowry with the ball, brings it up for the Toronto Raptors. Wright, left side. Can't hit from 12.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Pass to Ntilikina. Here's Kanter. Rejected by Monroe. And they get it back. Here's Ntilikina. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
Fleshing out his offensive game over time. Ntilikina wants to keep improving in the paint.
And Wright kicks to Green. Ball's knocked loose. Out to the wing. Ibaka finds Green. His three-pointers off the mark. Knicks trail by 13. Here's Ntilikina. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. For Toronto, they've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the 4th quarter. The drive by Lowry. The Knicks pull it in.
No hesitation. He took it right to the rack. But a quick reaction by the defense.
And all of a sudden, the shots now falling in bunches. The complexion of this game has completely changed.
Yeah, reason why they have found their shooting stroke. Their offense is clicking.
Now here is Ibaka. Back to Lowry. To the middle. It's Ibaka. That time on the assist by Lowry. That's 12 points for Serge Ibaka.
And each bucket at this point feels like a backbreaker.
Showing no mercy. Double-digit lead and still putting it on them.
Raptors leading by 9. Lowry with the ball. Inside. Monroe's shot is good. Monroe's got 6 points in the quarter.
Good job to stay patient and let the play develop. Lowry is very strong in that regard.
And so it's New York with it. Trier passes to Kanter. Left side, Porzingis. over Ibaka. They get it again. Knox. And that's good. A nice job in the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Outside Lowry. Porzingis with the steal, and it's Wright missing. And DeLon Wright gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Siakam is checked in for the Raptors. Kawhi Leonard comes in for DeLon Wright. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for New York. Ntilikina kicks to Porzingis. And the shot is good. The Raptor lead has been cut to just 7 points in the basket from Enes Kanter.
And defensively, neither side able to get many stops.
Well, this is when you need them, late in the game. It's not all about scoring.
Now, here is Ibaka. On the wing, Green. Covered by Lee. Green finds Ibaka. Here's Leonard. Shot clock at 3. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Leonard's got 16 here in the second half. Passes it to Knox. Here's Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Now here is Ibaka. Green left side. Baseline J on the way, and it's good off the back rim and in. And the Raptors lead by 9. New York shooting has been just great so far, up at 56%. Porzingis passes to Ntilikina. Fires the 3, and again, New York with the triple.
His marksmanship this quarter has been unbelievable, yet they still trail in this game.
Raptors leading by 6. And here's Lowry. Up top, Ibaka. He's covered by Kanter. And Ibaka kicks to Lowry. Down low. Here's the break. Here's Ntilikina. Serge Ibaka pulls it in. Ibaka's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Outside Lowry. To the middle. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. They get Courtney Lee. And guys, veteran Danny Green moving north last summer as part of the Kawhi Leonard trade, now in a Toronto Raptors uniform.
Yeah, and not the big name in that deal, obviously, but an important piece. Green is shown to be a very capable 3-and-D guy, and it's the next chapter in what has been a solid career for him.
And the first one drops.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Both shots good from the stripe.
And though he's a physical, tough-minded individual, Danny Green's averaged less than 1 free throw attempt per game over his career. That's surprising.
It's stolen by Green. That's good from Lowry on the assist by Green. Green's got his 5th assist in this one. Knicks trail by 10. It's stolen by Ibaka. Puts it up from 17, and another basket for Toronto.
If Lowry gets his feet set under him on a catch and shoot like that, the odds are it'll go in.
And the pass to Knox. And another turnover here by New York. Here's a chance now to check out the New York Knicks' upcoming schedule. On Sunday, they'll go back home and will be hosting the Orlando Magic. And then on Wednesday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And, you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Strong work for him at the offensive end, helping them to maintain that lead.
Feeds it to Lee. And Lee with the stuff.
An active passer with good awareness. When Ntilikina spots the open teammate, he gets it to him.
Outside Lowry. He kicks to Ibaka. Back to Lowry. Toronto working the ball around now. And Ibaka slams it in.
Well, the pace, the big plays they're making, this is a statement run right here.
Hard to remember the last time they've missed. These guys are having fun right now.
Knox got a piece of it, and he gets it back. Out to Porzingis. Pass to Ntilikina. 5 on the clock. Second shot opportunity. It's hauled in by the Raptors. Ibaka's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Lowry passes to Siakam. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Siakam's got 20.
I tell you what, his accuracy has been the story of this game.
And to do it in the 4th quarter, you're trying to extend the lead. He's making that happen.
Now here's Porzingis. No good with the triple.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Pass to Green. Kicks to Lowry. The 15-footer. You can't get that one to fall. Now the Knicks take it the other way.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Lee dishes to Cantor. Here's Knox inside. Lee gets the bucket.
Great eye contact. Guys working in tandem in the paint.
Guys, a good chance for them to slow it down.
Yeah, they definitely should use some clock here.
And another assist for him.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been one step ahead of the defense all game long. Passes it to Knox. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's foul number 2 for him. We've got 1:55 left here in the 4th quarter. Here's Ntilikina. He's covered by Leonard. 5 on the clock. Leonard with the steal.
I'll tell you what, terrific anticipation defensively. Tracked it all the way. That pass had no chance.
Knicks trail by 16. Here's Knox. And he's good on the 3 ball.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
Toronto's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Green against Lee. Green kicks to Siakam. The 3 from Leonard. It's good from long range. Leonard's got 7 now in this quarter.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Raptors.
Look at their number of assists.
You know, they didn't get stuck in those one-on-one situations, and they got the ball to the guys with the best matchups. Easy drives, open jumpers, and great ball movement.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance. It was a big-time outing for Kyle Lowry.
He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
Player podcast, something we're hearing more of, and it's a growing trend. Good idea, or do you think it could get some guys in trouble?
Kevin, well, some guys, it does a good job of helping their brand, and we love to see guys getting a chance to do other things off the court. And then there are some guys who get a little loose, and they reveal some secrets, or they say some things they wish they could take back. So I think it all comes down to the individual. You've got to understand media before you try to jump out and start doing these podcasts.
Well said.
And this is one of those times where the coach has got to preach, be unselfish.
And we don't know that he hasn't. Maybe it's been falling on deaf ears. Guys taking ill-advised jump shots.
Now here's Leonard. Leonard draws the double. He dishes it to Monroe. Down to 5 on the shot clock. "17 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Ntilikina kicks to Porzingis. Goes up at the stripe, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Porzingis has got 42 in the game. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. Some good moments throughout this one, but they have the clear advantage down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I love the way they executed on both ends of the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester, and that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Jonas, you have a lot on you in terms of controlling the paint. How do you think you're doing?
I feel good. You know, there is a better game, there is a worse game, but, you know, I'm bringing energy every game. I'm fighting, and my job is take rebounds, set of screens. I'm doing that job.
It's grunt work, but you're good at it. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long and good night, everyone.